In today's world, it's super easy to offend someone. Even mentioning this might annoy someone. Social media floods us with rude words, ideas we dislike, and generally unpleasant things. This could explain why there's a rise in overseeing and restricting language. In certain situations, and depending on the circumstances, this might be beneficial, like safeguarding young people. However, when it becomes excessive, it raises the question, are we becoming overly sensitive? According to Stoic philosophy, we aren't upset by what we find offensive, but by our decision to take offense. Others' words can't harm us unless we allow it. In this video, I'll share some Stoic teachings to help us become more resilient. Seneca, known as a politician, playwright, and satirist, is best recognized as a great Stoic philosopher. He was deeply interested in the concept of insults and taking offense. Seneca shared his insights on this topic in a piece titled De Constantia Sapientis, meaning On the Firmness of the Wise Man, in Latin. He critiqued his friend Serenus for hoping people wouldn't insult each other, deeming it unrealistic and beyond our power. Seneca advised focusing on not getting offended, something we can control. This leads us to his first piece of advice. 1. Stop expecting the world to be kind. It's filled with individuals who are self-centered, rude, arrogant, uninformed, nasty, and even cruel. While this seems negative, it's quite realistic. We can't always anticipate kindness from others. Human nature varies greatly. People experience a wide spectrum of emotions and thoughts, from anger to joy, from empathy to cruelty. Moreover, everyone has their own opinions, many of which we might disagree with. Fighting against this reality only sets us up for disappointment and a constant state of offense over things that are just natural. It's useless to expect the world not to offend us, as changing the behaviors of over 7 billion people to suit our preferences is an impossible task. As Seneca puts it, and I quote, "Wishing for all humanity to cause no offense is an unlikely hope." Furthermore, the primary beneficiaries of such a change would be those inclined to commit these wrongs, not the person who wouldn't be harmed by them, even if they occurred. While we can't expect constant kindness from everyone, this doesn't mean we should tolerate poor treatment. We have the right to establish boundaries and limit or avoid interactions with those who disrespect us. By accepting that people have both good and bad sides, our time on earth becomes easier, and we also respect others' right to exist and express their opinions. 2. Accept what's true and discard what's not. Seneca proposed an approach on dealing with insults based on their truth. In this technique, being offended becomes logically impossible. But first, let's see what Seneca said about handling insults, jokes, and similar remarks. I quote, "If someone jokes about my bald head, weak eyes, thin legs, or short stature, where's the insult in stating what's obvious to all? This strategy is quite simple. When offended, consider if the cause is true or false. If it's true, why be upset by the truth? As Seneca says, what insult is there in stating the obvious? If it's false, why be upset by falsehoods? When faced with nonsense, shouldn't the person spreading it feel embarrassed? Not us. 3. Reflect on your ego. Seneca noticed that people often regard insults as extremely severe. He said, "Many believe there's nothing more painful than an insult. Thus, you'll see slaves who'd rather be whipped than slapped, considering physical punishment and even death less painful than insulting words." For context, in Seneca's era, a slap was a severe insult. He lived during Jesus Christ's time, explaining why the Bible mentions turning the other cheek in response to a slap. Here, slapped symbolizes being insulted, not physically attacked. Our ego is the target when we face insults. This is linked to the narrative we've constructed about our identity and our expectations of the world. That's why people from various cultures and subcultures get offended by different things. Offense arises when something contradicts our personal story. We should consider, why are we offended? What's at the core of this feeling? Is it due to past events, specific ideologies, or cultural conditioning? I believe it shows greater character to search for the root of our emotional reactions within ourselves, rather than pointing fingers at the external world. Our emotional well-being is our responsibility, and others' opinions are not our business. It's not about changing the whole world to be nicer, but about changing how we react to it. The world is full of different people and opinions, and getting upset over every little thing is just going to make us unhappy. Instead, if we focus on what's really true, ignore the nonsense and understand why we feel hurt, we can be much happier and more at peace. Remember, it's up to us to handle our feelings and reactions. What others think and say isn't our problem. So, let's try to be a bit tougher, just like the Stoics taught, and enjoy life a little more. And that's what I wanted to share with you in this video. Don't forget to reflect on these ideas and see how they can help you in your own life. Thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more.